Howdy folks, hope you're all having a good one, and welcome back to The Altars, which goes on sale tomorrow, by the way. And we figured out why the base stopped. We're not getting over that in a hurry. Okay, suggestions? Because I've got nothing. Game's not exactly being massively helpful either. Current objective, develop a new plan. Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. How do you suggest I do that? Alright. Speak to Earth, maybe? Actually, first things first. I just maxed out my inventory, so I should probably make some stuff. Pylon components? Radiation filters? Drill cartridges? I mean, all of this stuff is useful. Oh, a climbing hook. Let's have some pylon components. That should do for the moment. Just use up some storage. Churn these out. Then we'll have to think about exactly what it is we're going to do to get ourselves out of this shit. I can't see Technician Jan being much use. I mean, this isn't exactly his field of expertise, but then again, it isn't mine either. You know what? We're going to sleep on it. Figure this out in the morning. So, day 10. There's no way me or Technician Jan are figuring a way out of this problem. But I might know somebody who can. So, to the quantum computer. Scientist Jan. You see, I ended up where I am because instead of sticking with my education, I took a job with business. I never finished my science degree and ended up on my arse when the market crashed and I ended up out of a job. But the kind of me that I would have become if I had finished my education, gotten my degree, might be the kind of me that can figure out a way out of the shit that we're currently in. I figure it's worth a try. So that's Scientist Jan in the oven. Not quite sure how long it's going to take. I think it's 24 hours for the cloning process to complete. Even using rupidium. Let's take a look. Yeah. Effectively, it's a working day. Alright, so we've got a working day to play around with. We're already halfway through the day, so I think I'm just going to busy myself. Maybe work at the organics outpost. Crank out some radiation filters in the workshop, just busy myself getting stuff done that does actually need to get done, and then in the morning we'll wake up Scientist Jan and see if he can figure a way out of our problem.
Hey, how are you feeling? Well, I'll be damned. You okay? Surprisingly okay. Especially considering what I'm seeing. Very clearly. Good. Do you, remember your name? Of course. But... I think you know perfectly well who I am. So let's not waste time. Just tell me, how much did you find? What? How much rupidium is there? Did we get a breakthrough? Yeah, you bet. There's a lot of it. Good. That's good. Wait, how do you know? Well, isn't it obvious? I wake up seeing someone who looks and sounds like me, which has to mean we share the same DNA. Then there's the glasses. What about them? They're fake. Probably just manufactured to make me feel more like myself, but completely unnecessary otherwise, because here I am with perfectly good eyesight in the womb module, which could only lead to one conclusion: that my body was created to replicate someone who doesn't wear glasses. You. And to do that, of course, you would need to have found rubidium. Besides, I can see no other explanation for a sheep inside a space base. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, you pretty much summed it up.
Wow, you're right. It's impressive. I did create you out of my DNA. We're not identical, of course. I can see you're not as quick to process information, and that's the interesting part. Yeah, our bodies are the same, but our minds are not. I needed a scientist on board, but there's always a scientist on board. So, what went wrong? The old crew is gone. They're all dead. That's why I needed to alter myself into different versions. With the use of the quantum computer on board and something called mind records. Oh, I see. A recalculated mind based on an infinite amount of variables to contain the desired consciousness in a biological vessel. That actually sounds plausible. So, what do you need from me now? You have to get our research lab running at once. We need to make some improvements fast if we want to succeed. Then I guess the sooner I start, the better. You're right. Why don't you start with going through the mission logs? I need to get the full picture first. My thoughts exactly. Good. This might work.
Yeah, I knew I was going to need a scientist, because you can build the research lab as an expansion for the base, but only the scientist can work in it. So without the scientist, you can't do any research, you can't unlock new modules, you can't improve your equipment, you can't improve the base. I'm hoping he's also going to be the one to figure out how to get us out of this shit. It would also probably be useful if I actually built him a research lab to work in. It's going to add mass to the base, of course, which is going to mean that I'm going to need to harvest even more organics in order to get this thing moving when we eventually figure our way out of our problem. But hopefully, that's what this guy's for. And now that he's here and I've built the research lab, the actual research option becomes available. So, cheaper batteries, okay. Extra mining efficiency for enriched metals, non-metals, and metals. I like the sound of that. Well, let's have a look and see what else. A recycler. Oh, this is good. This is basically free organics. The more me, who are running around in the base using the toilet every day, the more free organics get produced through the recycler. Nothing under the mission category yet, though. I'm liking the sound of the recycler, although I'll probably have to build it. This is just researching it. Economy. I think metals efficiency. This research doesn't appear to actually cost anything other than time. So while he's doing that and getting his bearings, up back where I built the travel pylon, overlooking the lava chasm, there's a blockage here, and I'm kind of curious to see what's on the other side. So I've lasered my way through. Ooh, what's that over there?
Hey,
wait, what?
What's this?
What's triggering the alert in my suit?
I need to learn more about this thing.
What thing? I mean, I can see new resources over there to the right, but what thing are you talking about? Oh, what is that? Some kind of distortion. Huh. New task. Find an alter who knows something about anomalies. I may know just the man. Okay. I am not messing around with whatever that shit is. Gonna speak with the scientist and get his opinion. Oh, speaking of which, he's just finished some research. When they finish the tasks that you assign for them every day, they will suggest other work that they could be doing, so you don't have to constantly go in and out of the assignments tab, putting them to work. Oh, hello. New resources. Minerals. It looked like a surface deposit of minerals on the other side of the blockage, to the right hand side, but I didn't see a way of getting to it without going through whatever that anomaly was. So that's a problem for another day. This blockage just looks like a shortcut back to the rubidium deposit, so I don't really need to waste a drill charge on that. I can just walk around. Well, I've still got a couple of hours left in the working day, so I'm going to use the fast travel pylon to get over to the metal mine. I'll just use the next couple of hours generating some more metals, because this stuff always comes in useful. And then head on back to the base and find out what my me's are getting up to.
I'm also Jan, obviously. This will never not be weird. Anyway, make yourself at home.
And it turns out they both
Cheers.
have something to talk about. Oh, scientist first.
I found something peculiar on the planet. What exactly was peculiar? Everything. It was like a local distortion of reality. And it seemed to be emitting strong radiation. Yes. We could have expected to come across something like that sooner or later, according to reports from previous missions. Unidentified sources of radiation, unexplained electromagnetic field anomalies, distortions of matter, space, or even gravity. What are they? According to a bold theory fleshed out by Professor Frankov, they may be instances of the so-called Interal. The what? Interal. In very simple terms, it's a non-coincidental superposition of potential universes. We don't know exactly why it occurs, but observations prove that under certain, not yet specified conditions, two or more parallel landscapes can coexist within a common quantum field, creating a so-called proximity plane.
Yeah, a non-coincidental super thingy. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, it felt like something was materializing from out of nowhere right in front of my eyes. Let's keep our heads cool. It's just a theory. No one's ever proved it right. If, and I stress if, Professor Frankov's intuition is right, then the distortion you have encountered could have been the spot where the proximity plane intersects with our observed universe, subverting its physical balance and distorting the rules of Newtonian mechanics. We need to learn more about these peculiarities. Inform me at once if you come across another one. So, how are you? Settling in all right? Settling in is overrated. I analyze reality from wherever I am, however uncomfortable the angle. There's always an observation to be made. I'd love to hear what you managed to observe. This place is not run optimally. Yeah, I know. I wasn't trained to command a mission. But now that you're here, with your experience, I'd love to pick your brain. Do you think you could mentor me? Good thinking. First of all, you need to set long-term goals and draw up a roadmap for each of them. Remember to include all unpredictable variables in the equation. That way you can have contingency plans at the ready for each instance. All right, slow down. Prioritize resources. Do not waste time on idle conversations with the crew. Hide the booze. Don't be cheap on coffee. That's slow enough for you? You mean idle conversations like the one we're having now? Like the one you're trying to turn this into? I'm not falling for it. Truth is, I really wish we could make use of the tech I worked on for all these imaginary years. It would make things so much easier if it existed. Turning it over in your head won't get you anywhere. You should focus on the work you need to do here and now. I never thought I'd say it, but yes, you're right. Let's get Rapidium back to Earth, and maybe later, we'll see.
Okay. I mean, that was useful. But hasn't helped us develop a new plan. Which is a bit of a bummer. I mean, it's the whole reason why I created Scientist Yan in the first place. Earth isn't interested in picking up the phone, so they're about as much use as an ashtray on a motorbike at the moment. And before I can figure this out, the next morning, we have our first conflict. Already, my two new me's are arguing, and this time it's over the food.
Man, I'm telling you, we need it. And I'm telling you, this is the least important of our priorities.
See, here's the issue. Neither of them are wrong. Scientist Yan is correct that we can survive perfectly well on the mush that we're currently making out of organics to eat. Technician Yan, however, is also correct. Eating mush is killing morale. We need better food. He wants at least 2 quality meals for each of us in the next 5 days.
You've got to be kidding me.
So that's immediately pissed off Scientist Yan, because he can only see the logic of the situation. But it could also piss off Technician Yan, because in order to make quality food, I'm going to have to build a greenhouse. And I'm going to have to grow actual food. And look at the amount of space a greenhouse takes up. Not to mention the amount of mass that it's adding to the base. And also, somebody's going to have to work there. I mean, that food isn't going to grow itself. Well, actually it is. I mean, growing itself is exactly what real food does. But somebody's going to have to plant it, and somebody's going to have to tend it, and then somebody's going to have to harvest it. There's the greenhouse. Shit. So we need a raw food package. And then, of course, somebody's going to have to cook it in the kitchen and turn it into actual meals. So this is all stuff that needs doing that doesn't directly affect the success of the mission. And doing this has already pissed off Scientist Yan. But having promised Technician Yan that I'm going to do it, if I then fail to do it, it's also going to piss him off. While at the same time occupying time and resources that could be best used directly supporting the success of the mission. The thing is, you do really need to worry about the psychological state of your 2 alters. Scientist Yan has just gotten some research done, so we'll go and give him something else to do. But getting stuff like this done, building a greenhouse, growing real food, cooking real food and providing decent meals, it has intangible benefits beyond just directly supporting the scope of the mission. I mean, Scientist Yan is right. We don't need this. But the crew will perform better if I do it for them. So now I have some fresh vegetables, I can make cooked meals. So I only need to make 2 per crew member over the course of the next 5 days. But I've got 10 raw food, so I may as well use them all. It's going to take time though. I'm supposed to be figuring a way out, but I need to keep them happy. Tech Yan has demanded a better diet, and it would be unwise to upset the guy who stops the base from breaking down. So a better diet he is going to get.
How are you holding up?
Oh, I need to speak to him as well.
It doesn't matter as long as I do my job. You sound like Dad.
Oh God, they're arguing again.
I'm sober, responsible, and successful.
These two really don't like each other very much.
What's up?
Oi, where you going? Just trying to talk to you. I don't know, you work your fingers to the bone cooking for them in the kitchen all day, and when you want to chat, suddenly they're too busy.
Okay, I went beyond the rocks. It doesn't look good. The lava river is fast as hell. I'll be straight with you. There's no way around it. Holy shit. What now? I guess we need to get across somehow. Any ideas up your smart-ass sleeve? So now I'm smart, huh? Still, even I might not be enough. But a smarter version of us? Yeah, he could do the trick. The scientist. He could look for a solution in that research lab you built. Okay, let's give it a go.
Wait, seriously, that's how you come up with a new plan? Just growing the scientist wasn't enough. At first I had to speak to a numbnut technician so he could have the idea of growing the scientist and put him to work on the solution in the research lab. You have got to be kidding me. Alright, fine, I'll take it. Well, with scientist Yan now officially figuring out a solution to our most immediate problem, suddenly Earth wants to talk to me, and it's here where I run into another problem, and its name is Maxwell.
Hello?
Jan Dolsky. Finally. I've been impatient to meet you.
Yeah, sure. You that big fish Lucas was mumbling about?
Terrence Maxwell. But yes, I am both his and your superior at mining operations. First of all, my heartfelt condolences. Losing the whole crew must have been hard on you.
Yeah. I still can't get over it.
Their families have been informed. They're grief-stricken, as you can imagine. But the deaths of their loved ones will go down in history as part of a pioneering discovery. Your discovery.
So, do people know I found rupidium?
We're keeping the news within a very limited circle. It's only wise for the time being.
Of course. Yeah. No reason to get everyone hyped up. Might still fail.
I can see you're a grown man, Jan. And you understand the stakes. I don't want to put pressure on you, but failure is not an option.
That's why you had me create my altars? You'd rather let me lose my mind than lose the rupidium?
It was a long shot, I admit. But we were saving both. Rupidium and you, Jan. Do you think it was a mistake?
I think you're bullshitting me. What if I hadn't found rupidium? You'd never go to such lengths to save me, would you?
What if? People like to use that phrase a lot, don't they? Well, you can actually learn the answer to that question. Many would envy you.
Let's just get one thing straight, Maxwell. I know you expect things of me, but I'm no hero.
Ah, heroism. Are you familiar with the works of Albert Camus?
Albert who?
A great writer and philosopher. Camus believed heroism was easy, accessible. For him, it was living a normal man's life that was a true challenge. Being decent. Doing the right thing. You are the first person to prove that we can actually excavate rupidium in quantities that can really make a difference. A dream the biggest corporations have been chasing for over a decade now, constantly failing. You say you're not a hero? Well, maybe I don't need you to be one. Maybe you should just carry on being a decent man, Jan Dolsky.
Okay, you're buttering me up for something big here. Let's cut to the chase.
Hard-headed. I like that. You've probably noticed how different rupidium looks in reality than on the training materials they showed you.
Why is that?
It changes form constantly. Its chemical structure is so volatile that it is almost impossible to capture two particles in the same state. A fleeting substance. Spectacular. But also very unstable.
So, you're afraid the rupidium I found might not withstand the journey?
I know it won't. That's why we came up with a special container for it. An Ark.
You mean like a box?
A hermetic module dedicated specifically to storing and transporting rubidium. We have blueprints for it. Lucas should send the necessary data over to you by the time we finish talking. Constructing a rubidium Ark should be your primary focus now.
Listen, you're very convincing, but I'm afraid I just won't have the time to do it. I need to find a way forward before the sun comes up.
You're losing faith easily. Look how far you've come. You survived the landing. You found rubidium. Then you branched yourself and managed to get the base moving. Would you really be happy with yourself if it all went to waste?
Waste? Wow. Is that what you consider saving my life?
Your life, my life. Let's face it. All it is a predetermined string of events, distorted with myriads of random, meaningless decisions. We spend centuries looking for some kind of sense in it, some kind of meaningful pattern or recipe. Still, no satisfactory answer comes. Until, once in hundreds, maybe thousands of years, a chance appears to make a leap in our understanding of reality.
What can I say?
I don't know. But whatever you make of it, let me bare my soul to you. I think these are rare moments that matter. So, enough talking. Lucas said you had questions. Is there anything you'd like to ask me?
Do you know what happened to my crew?
Lucas showed me the records. I have a theory, but it's more of a hunch. I don't have any hard proof to support it.
What is it?
Well, I think it might have been the quantum processing unit that killed them.
What? But that's... No, that's crazy.
Do you read detective stories, Jan? The culprit always needs to have two things. A motive and a means. Well, it certainly had a means to do it.
But why?
Like I said, it's just a hunch. I'm afraid I won't have much more time for now, Jan. Do you have any other questions?
What will happen to my altars when we get back?
I don't know. Yet. I don't need to tell you this is unprecedented. There are no good practices here. But I know one thing. You can trust me and Lucas completely. But if anyone else contacts you, it's absolutely vital you don't tell them anything about the existence of the altars.
What? Why?
You know very well why, Jan. The law has been violated.
I thought Lucas said the branching was authorized.
You haven't been listening. There are no procedures for this sort of situation. There is no one who can officially authorize such an act. At the end of the day, it was your decision to branch yourself. It will be in your best interest to keep that in mind when considering the consequences.
I don't like the sound of this.
We will come back to it later, I'm sure. Right now, I'll have to leave you shortly. Is there anything else?
No. I'm good.
Rubidium Ark, Jan. That's what you should focus on right now. Your secret is safe with me and Lucas. Once you come back with the remedy for Earth's ailments, nobody will think of punishing you for how you got it. Remember, just do the right thing. Now, I really have to go, but it was a pleasure talking to you, and we will talk more, I promise. Until then.
So, to summarise what that shitbag Maxwell had to say, this whole branching procedure, creating altars, you know, the thing that you didn't even know was possible until we specifically told you how to do it and told you to do it, we're now denying all knowledge. If anybody asks, we'll just claim that you performed this highly illegal procedure completely on your own initiative. Oh, and more rupidium, please. That's your top priority now. Not survival, not making it to the extraction point, not getting over the lava river. Mining more rupidium is now your top priority. Oh, and by the way, we're your friends and you can trust us. Even though we've literally just said that we will drop you in the shit with the Earth authorities at the drop of a hat, unless you play ball minus all that rupidium. But you can trust us. We're your friends. So I've got Scientist Jan throwing a hissy fit because I'm wasting time and resources making decent quality food when we absolutely don't need it in order to complete the mission. I've got Technician Jan threatening to throw a hissy fit if I don't make decent quality food, even though we don't need it, to complete the mission. And I've got my boss, my only contact with Earth, blackmailing me over shit that they made me do in the first place, unless I play ball and harvest all of the rupidium for them rather than focusing on my own survival. Other than that, things are going great. Join me in the next episode. Or, since it's on sale tomorrow, get the game yourself and figure out just exactly how much worse things can get than they already are. Hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, take care, and I'll catch you next time.